अक्षरोन्मिलितम् तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। पंचतत्व की जय, चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय। I would like to thank our leader Madhurapati Prabhu and my mentor Varadarajan Prabhu, who was always encouraging me and given sufficient guidelines and guiding so that I can present today's class, and Prabhati Mataji for her inspiration, Radha Mataji and all the Vaishnavas assembled here. Thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity. Nowhere I am concerned to talk about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but still with all your mercy, with all the mercy of Vaishnavas, I am getting this opportunity just to purify myself. This is a small effort to purify myself and serve to Prabhupada mission. Thank you so much for everybody present in this session. Before I begin, I just want to narrate one small story. Once upon a time, there is a king. He was very busy and he was spiritually inclined towards the knowing about the God and knowing about the essence of the scriptures. One day he called all the ministers and says, I don't have much time, people, so you help me to find out what is the essence of scriptures, because scriptures are so huge, I can't read it. Then these ministers are very, very good. They did a lot of research. They go through the scriptures and they bought one big summary of the scriptures. It was around 500 pages. He saw those 500 pages and he said, "Arey Baba, I don't even have a time to read 500 pages. You make it little less." Then again, they put a little more hard work and then 50 pages. Then that is also, the king says it is really difficult, so please do it something less. It is approximately 1 page is sufficient for me. Then they have compiled all the essence and they made it in shlokas, sutras, verses and all. And again, the king is unable to accept this. And then made one quote, which is the 4 lines. King was very much happy. Even that 4 lines is written in Padma Purana, and our Sanatana Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu he quotes. So that will comes like this. Smartavya Satatam Krishna means the essence of all the scriptures is always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So why I'm telling this story? Just to understand about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As we know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a secret, Guhyavatara, isn't it? So there is no difference between the teachings of the Lord Chaitanya present here in his throughout his life and the teachings of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So whatever in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has practiced that as a pure devotee. Okay, so when we hear, generally every time Mathurapati Prabhu has given a lot of opportunity to talk about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is not the first year, isn't it? So if you want to know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so the senior Vaishnavas will make it as a 4 phases. One is a Balya Leela, Panditya Leela, Sankirtana Leela and Sannyasa Leela. So I just pick up few points or few pastimes in all the above mentioned pastimes. I just would like to share with you all, with your permission. So many pastimes like a snake pastime, puppy pastime, Sridhar Prabhu's pastime, we know the crocodile pastimes, right? And these are the common pastime we generally Jagani Thai pastimes and all. We generally hear all such things. But there are few pastimes for Balya Leela of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is mentioned in Adi Leela chapter 7, which I really got impressed and I would like to share with you. So we know the 9th child of Sachi Mata is Vishwarupa, isn't it? So then the 10th child is Vishwambhara. That is a before initiated name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what happens to the Vishwarupa? So when Vishwarupa was getting the education, that time it's a Gurukula education. They used to learn all the scriptures. It's not like they study social math, science, English and all. So what happens? Because he impressed with these essence of Vedas and he came to know that the ultimate goal of life is to help others who are fallen down, right? So that is the reason he has taken up a sannyasa in a very early stage. As a result, his father is not allow Vishwambhara to continue his education. He said, see, already we have lost one child, and there is no point to Vishwambhara go to the Gurukula and he will become sannyasa. With that, kind of mood, they denied Nimai to go to the school. But as we know, Nimai is not an ordinary person. If nowadays if we tell to these kids, they will be so happy, isn't it? But Nimai is not an ordinary person. He none other than Krishna himself. So he started doing a lot of pranks with his parents. So once what happens, there is a lot of garbage picked. It means earlier they used to cook in the terracotta pots. It's not in the ordinary metal, black metal, white metal, not those kind of metals. They used to make it in the pots. And once after certain usage of that pot, they used to throw that pot. So, and it become pile up and it will so dirty and all such things. So once what happens, Nimai was standing there and he was picking those pieces of terracotta pots. Mother Sachi saw that, Are, what are you doing? This is very impure. It is not at all Shuddha. Don't do it. Don't play there. Come up. Come this side. Then Mahaprabhu nicely said, Are, how I know it is Asuchi? It is not Suchi because I'm not going to the school, right? So like this, he did a lot of pranks so that he would like to convince his parents. One day, what happened? He was when Sachi Mata was serving food to his husband. There was a sound outside, Bhati Bhiksham Dehi, Bhiksham Dehi, and all. Then they were very astonished, like, what is this? Who is this little boy is begging for some kind of offerings? Then Sachimata came and opens the door and saw. Then this is our Nimai itself. Mahaprabhu has come in that way. Then they were very shocked. Even she called her husband, and both of them were like, "What happened, Nimai? What is your situation?" Then he said, "See, if one does not go to school, it is like ajnana, it is andhakara. So I am blind, and finally, if I am blind, I have to suffer in this material world." These all the incidents impress his parents, and finally they have to let him to go to the school. And so like this, many pastimes happens. Then their parents. Then he will go to the Ganga Das Pandit Gurukul, and the amazing fact over there, he learned everything in one day, all the letters in one day. Next, he learns to make a sentence in another day. At the age of 11, he's thorough. He is mastered in Sanskrit grammar. Okay, so this is all about his Balya Lila. Then there is a few more I would like to narrate. Once there was going to the school he was going to the school with Jagannath Pandit. Okay, so when on the way he saw Sukha. Sukha is a parrot. That is a parrot from the spiritual world, Radharani's parrot. Then he saw, so he was so happy to see Sukha, and he said, "How is Radharani doing over there? How about Radharani and all?" Then, as soon as he catched the Sukha and he was talking to that Sukha, Sukha was so happy because he was separated from Mahaprabhu, and he was shouting, "Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga." Prabhupada was telling, "Hey, stop, stop. This is a Guhyavatara. You are not supposed to say it louder." Then he could not stop it because it was so trance, and finally he leaves it and it flew away. Then these are the pastimes which is experienced by Jagadananda Pandit, and he was narrating everything in his one book. Okay, and there is this Swarup Damodar Das. So he said, Jagannath Pandit, "Hey, what are you doing? These are all the secret pastimes of Prabhu, Mahaprabhu. So do not write it in your books. Do not paste it. I mean, do not publish it anywhere." But he was like, so Jagandananda Pandit said that this is my book. So, what is your problem? So I'll write wherever I want. So that arrogancy shows that Jagannatha Pandit is none other than Satyabhama in the spiritual. Then, and they were always try to protect his Guhyavatara as a Guhyavatara. Then there are a lot of pastimes where Mahaprabhu liberated all the vendors in such a way, he just go to each and every shops, and he used to take those items, cloth item, garland, by giving few conch shells. That time, there was no coins for small groceries and all. They used to buy in a conch shells. They used to get it over there. Whatever the conch shells he has, a little conch shells he used to give, and sometimes they don't have. It's okay. They used to come like this. So what is the intention, reason behind these fasting is just to liberate all the vendors of during his avatara. So sometimes he used to cry, used to laugh, used to dance with ecstasy and trance. Once, what happens? His mother, Sachi Devi, was too much worried. Arey, what is this? My son is not at all feeling well. Many people suggested, oh, he's very much imbalanced with Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and all. They used to say that. But Sachi Mata was also worried. Some people come to suggest that put an coconut oil to his head, ask him to drink coconut water, and so many suggestions. And Sachimata was literally trying all these things. Then one day he came in Srivasadi. Srivas Thakur said, he came and said to Srivasa, he said, Srivasa, my mother is telling like this, and all the people in the city were talking me that I got up some disease or something. What do you say? Do you think I have a disease? Then Srivasa said, yes, yes, Prabhu, you have a disease. You have a disease of Krishna. So you want to, you want to get the Krishna prema, that is your disease. Even the disease what you have, even the Brahma, Narada, Shiva, even they want to get this disease. Even I too want to get that disease. So these are the beautiful pastimes of that. And once what happens, Srivasadi, then after that they started the Sankirtan. Sankirtans initially started with Srinivasa, the house. So that was the headquarters for their Sankirtan, and they were really doing it in Guhya. The people were not aware about this all, and they want to keep it secret for some time. So these comes in the Kirtan pastimes of Mahaprabhu. So once what happens, Srivasadi's mother-in-law was very curious to know about all these things. So she came into I think this is, most of them knows, aware, they came into the basket of fruit baskets. And I mean, before this, I just want to complete that previous the pastime. So they started this kirtan first time in Shivasadi Acharya's Thakur's house. Then what happens after kirtan? They were not hungry. I mean, before kirtan, after kirtan, they were like little, they want to eat something. Then there is nothing, no prasadam to eat. Then Mahaprabhu has made one, he saw one mango tree, and immediately that tree become big and it started yielding the fruit. That fruit is none other than spiritual fruit. It does not have a seed, and it is very tasty, and it was yielding throughout the lifetime. So then Srivasadi, I was talking about mother-in-law of Srivasadi, right? So she has come with a basket, and she was secretly hiding and watching everything. And Mahaprabhu was not able to get that trance to enjoy that moment of kirtan. So he felt that something is impure here. I can feel it. Then they started searching every corner, hook and corner of the kirtan hall, and they find that in the basket there is a Shivasadi's mother-in-law. And Shivasadi got so much angry, and he was trying to throw her mother-in-law out of this. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt very bad. What are you doing? See, she is your mother-in-law. So this is not the behavior you should show to her. That Shivasadi said the beautiful things. Mahaprabhu, if anybody comes between the path of Krishna consciousness or Krishna prema, so I don't have any relationship with them. So this is what one Vaishnava etiquette we all should follow, and our topmost priority should be a Krishna consciousness or serving to the Krishna. The same way, there is once what happened, Shivasadi bought Brahmachari. One Brahmachari is a very pious, and he was an Ashtanga yogi. We study in Bhagavad Gita also, right? Ashtanga yogis also try to attain Krishna. So the Brahmachari was so good, but he was an Ashtanga yogi too. So he was there in the Kirtan hall, and when Mahaprabhu was doing a Kirtan, there is something impure, something, it's not good to feel it. So again, Mahaprabhu got angry, and he saw the Brahmachari. He said, who is this Brahmachari? Who bought here? Who gave a permission? He started shouting on him. Then Shivasadi accepted his mistake. It is my mistake. I have to come without your permission. Then Shivasadi, again Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised Brahmachari, send him out. See, you are just like Brahmachari. See, those who are there, they all are pure Grihastha. Though they are in the Grihastha stage, they are serving the Krishna with complete purity and surrenderance. But simply you become a Brahmachari, and if you are being Brahmachari, why are you here? Should go to Himalaya or somewhere. So, and still you are following the Ashtanga Yoga. This is not at all a pure devotion. Then he went out and he started lamenting. Then, after some time, Mahaprabhu said to Srivasadi, go call him back. Then he will come and he will say, now you are pure, because earlier there is a lot of proud within you. So now you are pure and you are eligible to take a part in Sankirtana. So these are the beautiful mercies of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then what happens? Again, there is a one of that, because the way they are chanting and they're feeling the amazing blissful moments, it is spread all over the Navadvipa, and everybody wants to taste it. But there is a qualification required. That is only to the pure heart to serve and surrender to Krishna. So once what happens, when Brahmana wants to, observe, he want to see how these, why are they so happy, and he wanted to experience that Sankirtana. So he did not, the other Vaishnavas didn't allow to take part him in the Sankirtana. He felt very bad, and on the way to Ganges, they were taking bath. So that time he found Mahaprabhu. He found Mahaprabhu and he said, see, yesterday I came to your Sankirtana hall. You did not allow me. So you made me to stand outside. We understood why he didn't allow, because of his impurities. Then he started cursing. See how you made me to stand outside, the same way you will out of the house. Then other associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt very annoyed. What is this? How dare you to curse our Mahaprabhu? Then Mahaprabhu was very cool and happy. No worries, because I would like to take a sannyasa and I never make brahmachari's curse go wrong. And I'm very much happy. This is my sannyasa time and I'll take sannyasa. So this is how we'll take sannyasa. So next is the Panditya pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we all know Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, isn't it? So he's a South Indian Goswami, and we are so blessed that his presence was there once upon a time, and literally now also we can feel it. That is why we all are perishing. South India is also perishing in Krishna consciousness. So what happens when they were traveling in the Ganges River to reach the Gurukul, as I already mentioned in the earlier, Mahaprabhu was very good in grammar. He got a master's in grammar. The same way Raghunatha Bhatta was, so he was actually a law student. Okay, so he was written one commentary on the law. And since we know Mahaprabhu was studying about grammar, but once his Guru said that you have to write a commentary on law. Then on the way, he saw that, on the way to the Gurukul, Raghunath Bhatta asked, did you make a commentary on law? Because you're not a, law student. You are a grammar, you are a master in grammar, but how do you write a commentary on law? Then Prabhupada showed Mahaprabhu showed, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed whatever he has written to Raghunath Bhatta. After reading that commentary, he started crying. So he felt, and Mahaprabhu felt, what are you crying? What are you doing? Why are you crying? Why are you so upset after reading my commentary on law? You are feeling that it is something wrong, which is not at all correct. Please guide me, I'll correct it. No, then Raghunath Bhatta says that, my God, this is not a human can do this. This is an absolute exact, the commentary, what you have written. But I was so proud that my commentary will be the best, better. But after seeing you, my knowledge is nothing in front of you. Then Mahaprabhu felt very bad. Oh my God, because of my commentary, you have to cry, you have to lament so much. Then he threw the entire set of the commentary into the river. So this shows that Prabhu is so merciful. Whoever is surrendered to him, so he's ready to do anything. The last pastime which I would like to narrate is Antya Leela in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So these are about the sannyasa pastime. So we all know about the Sanatana Goswami, right? So once what happened, Sanatana Goswami was coming from Puri, from Varanasi. Okay, so he reached to Puri, and Mahaprabhu was made all his arrangement to receive him, and he made him a comfort. And there was a place called Siddha Vakul where Haridas Thakur and Sanatana was staying nearby. Okay, so when he received that, on the way, he experienced a kind of disease, Sanatana Goswami. It was something like, a very terrible disease where he has a lot of pus in his body, porous has started, some infection. I think in olden days, we know there are a lot of contingent diseases used to take place, right? So on the way, he developed that, and he felt that, oh my God, I have caught up with very bad terrible diseases, and if I'm alive also, if I'm not alive also, there is no point. Anyhow, I am unable to serve Mahaprabhu's mission. He was so disappointed, discouraged, and he just had a thought to give up his life, when he reached to Puri. Then Mahaprabhu received him and made him a comfort. And very next day, again Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to his kutir, Sanatana Goswami's house, and he said, Sanatana, this body is not yours. This belongs to Krishna's. Okay, and nobody can attain Krishna by giving up their body, especially like suicide and so-called, because um, some people, pure devotees, are really find separation of Lord. So that is why they want to give up. That is a different case. But here, please stop your nonsensical desire to give up his body. So this body, if you give up this body, you're not going to attain Krishna. If you want to attain Krishna's lotus feet, you have to do a lot of kirtan chanting, without any impurities. So if you can engage yourself in kirtan movement and chanting, you can attain Krishna, he says. And he even suggests him to follow the Navavidha Bhakti. And we all know in chanting the holy name is a beginning process of the Bhakti, right? So after this all hearing from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanatana felt very shocked. Oh God, I just felt it in my heart. And how come Mahaprabhu knows about it? Then he immediately fell into the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he said, kindly forgive me, I'm so low born, I'm sinful person, I'm nothing in front of you, I'm not at all, I cannot be an instrument in your mission, Prabhu. So this is all, his lamentation towards his condition, because he's not well, right? He's got a very terrible disease, and he felt like I'm no use, I'll be burden. If I stay here, I'll be burden for Mahaprabhu. Nowhere I'm become useful, so I'm useless completely. So, but interesting thing, what we need to understand, being a followers of Krishna Pragne, so we need to understand one thing, that nothing is in our control. And whatever is happening, there is a cause of, or it's a plan of Krishna and Guru. So, and also, see, Sanatana Goswami is not an ordinary person. He's a Chaitanya Prabhu's direct associate, and he is not an ordinary person like that, like us. But still, he is feeling, he's lamenting, isn't it? And also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said all these things when he was in Varanasi. Although he knows all the philosophy, he knows everything, he was associating with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he really felt all those things. So in this, it is not for any social benefit he did it, but actually he felt it. This is what the situation he was undergoing. Okay. Then, in spite of knowing all the philosophies, even we are come to the close acharyas and all, sometimes we can understand that it is a reciprocation of the pastimes of the Lord. Then only, we can also understand. But one point we need to understand is, though we know everything, though there is a lot of scriptures, but what is keep us encouraged? The only one thing keep us inspiring and encouraging is a Vaishnava association that we all are doing every morning. So if there is no Vaishnava association, because when there is a problem, when our mind filled up with a lot of clouds of negativities and thoughts, and a lot of blockages due to some personal and family issues, if we are not, during that time, we could not have a time to go open the book. Okay, which page of Chaitanya Charitamrita, yeah, this is mentioned, which verse of Bhagavatam help us, which sloka of Bhagavad Gita help us. This we will not get mati brahme. Buddhi will become, completely lost. So we won't get that intelligence, and we don't have that patience to go and look into the book. So here, Mahaprabhu is saying to everybody that, if you are maintained with the Vaishnavas association, if you are with the Vaishnavas association, they are the only way we can overcome, not with the knowledge. Some extent is knowledge is fine, but more what affects us is the Vaishnavas association. So after clearing all these doubts, even one thing we need to understand. So after explaining all these things, Mahaprabhu says very important lines, but I'm not qualified to chant all these verses, but I got the essence of all the verses. So he says that Lord has its own plan for all of us. Whatever happens in our life, we should not make our own decision. We need to wait. So here we need to understand two things. One is patience and persistence. So whatever happens, so there is a good cause. God has a good plan. We have to listen with a complete patience and persistence. So I mean, God expects us, okay, how much patience we are, how much persistence with the process of Krishna Bhakti. So we need to express our eagerness and willingness to act as an instrument of Guru, so that we can serve more and more to Krishna. So this is what we need to, inculcate within ourselves. So by chanting, doing kirtan, doing some Vaishnavas, sevas and all. So what help us to keep all these things? Only the one thing, that is, only the Vaishnavas Association will inspire us to remain active and consistent without feeling disappointment and discouraging or distrust with the whatever the cause or the personal and other bodily adi bhautika, adi jaivika, adhyatmika, all these kind of miseries, whatever happens. So we can easily overcome once we are engaged with the Vaishnavas Association and Vaishnavas Seva. So by telling this, I would like to thank and all of you, those who are present. Please forgive me if I do any Bhagavan Aparada, Vaishnavas Aparada, or any devotees Aparada. Kindly forgive me, and thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity. If this opportunity would have been not given to me, I could have spent some time by cooking in the kitchen more and more, cleaning the house or something. But this, one opportunity Matarapati Prabhu has given, so that I can purify myself. And whole day yesterday, I felt of feeling my spiritual thirst about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there are very few points I made an attempt with the mercy of the Guru to share along with you. Thank you so much for listening to me patiently. Kindly forgive me if I commit any aparadha like this. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.